Welcome everybody back here at Veil of Sound. Yes, Surprise Tuesday. Yes, Pelagic. Yes, Abraham is on the show. Two of the guys are here, so thanks for joining, Etienne and Jacques. I hope you don't mind sitting with us and talking about the new record.
No, we're delighted.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure.
Yeah, and it is also a real pleasure because the new record, first of all, once again, is awesome.
No, thank you.
But it also brings a certain chapter of the band to a close. We'll talk about that in a minute. First thing that we always ask here on the show is the plug of the day. You can plug any of your other bands, friends, projects, whatever you wanna. I'll give you a second. I will plug something, and I will plug. I'm pretty sure you know them personally. I'm pretty sure you like them. I will plug Birds in Row.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I like this band. Do you want us to comment on Birds in Row?
No, you give me another band or project that you would like to drop or pay, that you would like people to pay more attention to.
Can I say two or just one?
As long as you don't say 20, everything's fine.
No, okay. So I would say maybe someone we collaborated with, which is Ellie Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to spell it because it's a French name, or is it okay?
I know her, or at least know her work. Let's put it like that.
Okay. And maybe a band we toured with last year, which is called Rorcal, or maybe you have another one in mind.
I have also two bands, two plugs, if I may.
Yeah, just one thing. If anybody wants to know a little bit more, maybe about the darkest band on the planet. I think they're fighting with Indian, Rorcal. A few years ago, we had a record about their last, we had an interview about their last record, Silent. So if anybody wants to know a little bit more, go to our archive. We'll also put the link underneath this video. So the next one.
The next one is the band from Bern, a Swiss band. It's ELR.
Yeah.
ELR.
Isabel's project.
Yeah, exactly. And we went on tour with them. It was really, really great, and I really like what they are doing. And the second one is Zatokrev,
who just released a new record.
Exactly. Yeah. I just listened to it today, and it's a masterpiece. And we will share stage with them, and we really enjoy it. We're looking forward for it.
I can imagine. I really like the new record. I was also very glad that one of our writers took the time, sat down, and wrote a really good review on it. Please excuse me that I forgot something. For all the people out there, maybe the guys should first introduce themselves. So Etienne, Jacques, who is doing what in the band?
Okay, I'm Jacques. I'm doing the guitar in the band, and sometimes backing vocals live as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Etienne, and it's quite easy. I'm also doing the guitar in the band.
Is it correct that my research at least not fool me? I mean, like, Jacques, I know sometimes you're doing backing vocals, but most of the vocals are done by your rhythm section.
Yeah, exactly. By Dave, who is the drummer and also the singer in the band. He writes all the lyrics and does all the vocal stuff on the records, and we're me and Veil, who's playing bass. We're just doing backing vocals.
You've already mentioned Dave writes all the lyrics, and of course we will not dig too deep into them because it's his words. But we've already talked about it pre-recording. The new record is called idsungwüssä. I know it's mispronounced, but it's Swiss German. How or why did Dave, do you know maybe why Dave decided to not only use German, but then even a dialect from your home country?
It's because, I had to say that, but with these three records, with Look Here Comes the Dark, Débris, mondes, perdus, and idsungwüssä, we wanted to bring a sense of coming together, and for us it made sense as a Swiss band to have French and to have Swiss German in this, along with English, which is a bit more international, and I think to him it made sense to write lyrics in Swiss German, since he's a Swiss German speaker as well.
Without speaking in his name, I guess it was also to try maybe new sound, and also because when you are writing things, sometimes you don't have the words to say what you really want to say.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier to say it in your proper mother language.
Yeah.
And Dave, his mother language are French and Swiss German. So he has a large possibilities to try things and to say things.
Yeah, and we also have to say that there are quite a few bands out there who nowadays use their regional dialects, or in the case of Belgian apocalyptic Swiss black masters, Alkerdeel, they don't even use a dialect. They use certain words that come from one single town, and their singer Jeroen just says like, okay, that's a language that he more or less feels most comfortable with. I could imagine that is something that Dave also thought about. What I also took when looking, and here we already come to the idea, it's basically 3 records that now idsungwüssä brings to an end. It's interesting, the first one has an English title, the second is French, and the last one is now Swiss German. In a way, to me, it sounded as if it's more and more a step more into the inner being, from the very global English, you go to French, of course, global language, don't worry, please nobody misunderstands me, but and then you go into Swiss German. Is that also something that you guys feel, okay, sometimes you look at the bigger picture, sometimes you look at the smaller picture. Is that important to look at things from different perspectives?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, when we tried to record, when we were writing Look Here Comes the Dark, we wanted to do something that spanned a lot of things. I mean, it's maybe this record, looking at it now, it's way too long, but
how many vinyl sides is it? 3, 4? I forgot. Many.
8 vinyl. No, it's like 4 vinyls, but 8 faces.
Yeah, I did. It's a lot of vinyl, but it's also a great record. So come on.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean.
Yeah, we wanted to do something that was a bit universal, and we thought we had said everything when we recorded it, but then things changed a bit for us because we lost 2 members. We recruited Etienne as another guitar player, so we wanted to expand a bit on that. And for this, Débris, mondes, perdus, which is like remnants of lost worlds, it's like something that's roots in Look Here Comes the Dark and goes in another direction, and this one is also another direction from Look Here Comes the Dark. And yeah, it's kind of we focus more on maybe a personal voyage on this one, so it would make sense in this way to have its counterpart as in the language we use.
Yeah, and to me it also seemed as if with the first record you said, we wanted to say a lot of things on a very general or global basis. Okay, and then there are these little threads that are left. Okay, then you come to Débris, mondes, perdus. As you said, it's like a little bit like the leftovers, the little things that are left and unsaid. Okay, so we do this, then it's a dual record, basically. Okay, and then maybe there are more threads. So these are the last threads of a trilogy, right?
Yeah. I think we're done this time.
Well, we'll talk in 3 years about that one. But please correct me if I misunderstood it. Where Débris, mondes, perdus told the story from Look Here Comes the Dark, like a sequence. Now it's not a progression or regression in time. It's like jumping to a different place, right? Idsungwüssä takes a look at the thing from not a different time zone, but a different location, right?
Also, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a kind of journey.
It's kind of journey, yeah.
A journey in space, also inside yourself. I guess these two themes are important, and we tried also to make it musically something more cosmic, if I can say, or.
You definitely can. I wanted to come to that correlation because, at least to me, there is definitely a little bit of more introvertedness on some of the records, or some of the songs, sorry. For example, when you look at Naked in the, what is it? Naked
Sky.
Naked in the Naked Sky, sorry. That is a very, very, I don't want to say mellow, but there is a lot of dark folk, a little psychedelic in there. It is very different from a lot of the things that you've done before. And I looked at it, and it's also probably because you used some different instruments on this one, right? It's a lot more synth, at least in my perspective. And you used the Farfisa organ.
We did that, yeah.
Who came up with the idea to do that?
I think it was...
it's Dave and you.
Maybe Dave and me. Yeah, I was going to say it's something that we didn't really think about, but that was something that we did in common. But maybe we did this with Dave. And we thought, why not use this synthesizer because, or this Farfisa organ, because it sounds great. It's here right in the rehearsal place. It's easy to use for us. And it made sense to just bring it on the record and on this particular track.
Yeah, and it gives, as I said, it gives the whole thing a very, very different feeling. Sometimes I had the feeling as if you are trying not to imitate, but to take something from like sci-fi soundtracks. Is there some inspiration in there?
Not really. But at the same time, yes. I mean, we're not great sci-fi readers. I mean, I, for one, I don't know. Do you read sci-fi?
No, not really. No.
I was thinking more about movies, right? So like Odyssey in Space, something like that.
Yeah, but as everyone, but...
Not as a particular focus. I mean, but there's definitely... I mean, when we... Earlier on in the band, we had this joke going on that the previous singer was super big sci-fi fan, and we always tried to make fun of him because of that, and saying, for instance, that sci-fi wasn't really literature and something like that, because we thought of ourselves as a better reader than this, and well, it's all bullshit, obviously, but then it came back for us, and we decided that maybe we realized that it wasn't completely stupid and that we could use it as an inspiration, but it wasn't really something that we ever thought of as like a trademark or something that we would use. But somehow it turned out that we used it we used sci-fi as a way of expressing ourselves. And
So you do understand me connecting that with the sound of the new record, right? Because as I said,
I do.
There are some tracks. But Etienne, sorry.
Yeah, but the others, as I said, sorry, one of the main idea was the idea of the trip, of the journey, of the vessel out of the planet, which is going to explore some things. So it fit well.
Yeah. I mean, like, of course, that is a very common, the voyage is a very common element in sci-fi movies, right?
I mean, even the title of the album is kind of a sci-fi title because it translates into like something like Into the Unknown. So it's quite sci-fi.
Oh, so you're basically ripping off Frozen.
Yeah, somebody pointed that to me, and I was super bummed that I hadn't seen. It's in Frozen 2, I think.
I would have to ask my daughter. She would know for sure, but I think it's 2, yeah. Which is interestingly to me, still the better of the two movies.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I really enjoyed the first one, but it was what was the main title song? Was it Let It Go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let It Go.
I love that song.
It's interesting. Into the Unknown. I didn't know that was the English translation. There are also some other bits that we have to talk about, and I would like to start with a little bit of band history. So Abraham is now closing in on 20 years as a band, if we count the vampires to it.
Le Baron Vampire.
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, question. I mean, like, in hindsight, I would say that Abraham is a much better band name. Sorry.
That's okay.
But I listened also to a few tracks by Le Baron Vampire for this one. It's also a different kind of music, right? It is a clearly more punkish stuff.
Yeah, maybe we can say that, I think.
So what came first? The idea of let's do another band or let's do another sound?
Le Baron Vampire was a project that we first had with just Dave and me, because we had another. You wanted to have some band history, so maybe we'll go dive a bit deeper in history.
Please.
We had a punk rock band, which was called...
Etienne, now you have to listen to everything because he will test you on it. So, Jacques, please.
We had this punk rock band called Nabokov. We didn't really do any records, but we wanted to, I don't know, maybe have a bit of a harder, harsher, more darker sound. And the band split up, and we had a few tracks that we had already written for Nabokov that just were translated into Le Baron Vampire. Tracks that are on the first record, by the way. It's Helsinki and Statues. I think it's still called that way. It was the old name, but maybe I don't know. The Statues. And from these two songs, we tried to maybe write other songs that were more inspired by Breach and Cult of Luna. We're still inspired by those bands, but they were definitely the bands that we listened to the most back then in 2007. And basically the first record that we released under the moniker Abraham and Pelagic is the first record that we released under the name Le Baron Vampire on a Swiss label that since dissolved, but it's the same record, just under another name. And then we decided to maybe be a bit more serious about what we were doing. So we decided, we came up with the idea of writing texts that would encompass like a whole story, and then write the music to those texts. And that's how we did the second record, The Serpent, the Prophet, and the Whore. And we did the same for Look Here Comes the Dark and for Débris, mondes, perdus. But we decided to change a bit for idsungwüssä, and Dave drew 9 drawings, and we took inspiration from the drawings this way. Yeah, but to go back to your question, yes, we decided to shift towards something a bit darker.
Because of the numbers, I'm a little confused. You said 9 drawings, and now it's 8 tracks. Is there a leftover one?
Maybe, who knows?
I love it. Yeah, and I understand what you mean. The music by Le Baron Vampire is a little bit more post-hardcore, although there are also still remnants sometimes in Abraham. But in the earlier Abraham records, I think everybody would have agreed, okay, post-metal sludge, something like that. With this record, I think it's harder to place it. And I know that musicians never think about, okay, let's make a post-metal track or let's make a sludge record. I know that musicians never do that. But as I said, the new record is a little bit more diverse in sound. Was that important to you to have, even though it's a continuous narration and even though it's a journey, but it's still a little diverse in the soundscapes? Was that important?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
you have something to say about that.
Yeah, just to add back to the last question. I guess I know these guys since the beginning. I mean, they created their own universe, and I guess we can also in idsungwüssä find this universe again. And I guess it's also normal that people change with time. Maybe some tastes change, and of course there is some step. And one big step was when Dave had to take back all the vocals, and it's quite a great performance. I mean, he hit the drummer and the singer. And of course, I came into this band, and I also have to try to make a place, and it's good that there is an evolution. Still, same things, but it's nice to see an evolution. For me, it's quite a good sign that it's something difficult to place, even there. That's still Abraham. For me, I still recognize Abraham. I mean, but it's also a good sign that we cannot immediately place stickers on what we are doing. Even there is, of course, there is a lot of influences from everywhere.
But, I don't know. Maybe it's something that changed a bit on this record is that we tried to. We didn't really know that we were doing longer songs, because the songs basically are long, I think are quite long on this record.
Oh no! Do you really think that 12 minutes is too long?
We don't have a 12-minute song.
11:07. Yes.
11.
No, we didn't say too long. We just say long.
Hey, you're not Bellwitch. Everything is fine. And even Bellwitch songs with 85 minutes are wonderful. Every track on a new record has the length it needs. But Jacques, I stopped you. Sorry.
I think what we had in the beginning was we had a lot of intros, a lot of outros, and we just needed a thing to put in between. And there's also this. We went to some place to try and write songs, and most of them were very long bits that they developed and stuff like that. And we decided to take these bits and to make them into songs. But to make them work, we had to do long songs. It was a different writing process, I think, than from Débris de mondes perdus, for instance.
There is something about what you've just said that I noticed. You know, a lot of bands use interludes to go from one song to the next. And when we compare that to the lyrical or audio genre of like audio theater plays, very often in those audio plays, you have like an off commentary who links the different scenes, which is basically the same idea of an interlude. I like the fact that you are not doing this, but that you are basically jumping from scene to scene to scene. It's still a continuous journey. It's still well narrated, but it's not as if we have, how should I say? It's not as if there is somebody to guide us from track to track. We always have to listen to the tracks, and we always have to also in some ways make up our own version of it. Have you ever, not just for this release, but with other releases, come to a point where somebody interpreted your songs not only in a different, but in a completely wrong way?
I don't think so. Do you remember something like that?
No,
I don't really.
I just saw one interpretation about carcasses.
Yeah.
And it's a really long one. And they talk about it so much time. And it was, wow, they can say all that. But I can't say if it's wrong or not, because I was not there when you did this song. So, but in a totally wrong way, I guess that lays also place for people to interpret it as they feel. But I can't remember that.
No, I don't either. I mean, maybe it's because we're teachers and that we that we always come face to face with people trying to interpret stuff and stuff like and so on.
I have the same problems with my students.
But no, I think people pretty much get where we're going with a song. It's always nice to see interpretations, but it's I don't really think people get the wrong idea about something.
Yeah, and I think also, you know, up to a certain degree, I mean, like there are interpretations which all of us would first of all deny and second of all correct, but they are so far out that most people usually would not even listen to it. But I also think that that is some of the magic of music, right? We all hear it differently and we all understand it differently. However, how does it now feel for you? And here I want to come back to the trilogy idea. You said, okay, probably this is the end of this narration, of this part. Is this a blessing? Because, okay, we're open basically to do whatever we want to. Or is it also a little bit of pressure because those 3 records are really great records?
First of all, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
That goes straight to my heart. I think, first of all, we need to come to terms with the idea that we've done 3 records around the same themes, basically. And when we will have had time to do this, maybe we will start thinking about the next chapters in Abraham. But for now, it's something that we haven't really discussed. We've not tried to write new songs yet, or not. I mean, as a band, I have tried some things here and there, but it's not very convincing. But I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a blessing. I mean, I don't feel such pressure writing new material just right now. I mean, we're focusing on going on tour, focusing on playing these songs live. So it's a bit early, maybe in the process, to say that we are free to do anything. But I don't know how you feel about that.
And it depends on many things, because for this album, and I guess you did that every time, from a narration and then from draws, but we started from 0, and there is a lot of leftover material that we did create, and we really don't know if we will use it to try to make other songs, but it means that it will be like idsungwüssä, or maybe we will do total other things, and it's also nice, that's true, to capture the mood of the moment and of everybody. I mean, maybe that can also we can maybe feel it on idsungwüssä, that there is a special mood. I don't know, but something really collective, I guess.
Yeah, but I like the idea of starting from scratch, because, as Etienne said, lately we've been trying to, I mean, for idsungwüssä, trying to write things as a band and not coming up with riffs or bits of song that were already written. And I think it's a long process, but it's nice. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a year from now, when we'll start writing new material, maybe the leftover material from idsungwüssä will sound very outdated. And I like the idea of starting from scratch, because it's also a new chapter.
I've heard something about the production of a record that I want to understand. There is a comment in one of the press kits where you say, okay, we didn't want the guitar on the left playing one part and the guitar on the other playing a different one. We wanted both to play the same stuff, but a third guitar in the middle is playing something totally different. Now, I mean, like, I can do the math. You are the two guitar players in Abram. How will you do those three different things on stage?
That's an easy one.
So one of you has to be split in the middle.
No, we're just doing left and right. I think we'll go the old ways, the old school way of doing things a bit punk rock, you know. But we wanted the record to sound differently. We wanted it to be very cosmic, very ethereal. So putting both guitars on left and right that play the same, and a third one in the center that plays another song allows us to do that.
And of course, we can do that when we record something in a studio. And we tried also to make sometimes some echo. He played two notes, I played two, and like a response. And of course, it's when we are building now a set for going on tour. And of course, we have to think about, okay, who takes which line for the song, for the good being of the songs. And it's another work. I mean,
it's good that you say that, because let's talk about stuff like the bigger amount of synths or the farfisa organ. How will you do that? Will you track it and then just play, or will you take somebody on tour to play that stuff?
For the tour that we will be doing in October, we're going in. How do you say that? Very small formation, just the four of us. So those parts will be left out, unfortunately. I mean, it's complicated, but for the next tours, maybe it would be nice to take someone with us. That could happen. We just need to find someone that's available to do those parts. Of course, we won't be able to take the farfisa with us because it's so fucking heavy. I don't know. Yeah, it's close to maybe 100 kilos or something like that. It's terribly heavy. It's worse than a 8x10 cabinet for bass. But yeah, we won't be bringing that on stage. So we need to figure out options with that. And maybe if we had a keyboard player or something, someone that would do that for us, we would need to discuss it first. But
I don't know yet, by the way, because we have two possibilities. It's to have someone to play with, and it could be a nice
you
idea.
could take Enigma, who is playing synths on the record. Enigma.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very, very smart.
But I guess we also like the idea to bring the how can I say that, the soul of the sound of our sound with a little formation. We are four on stage, and we will do that, and we will try to create an intensity with the four members without something else. But maybe we will change our mind and do something else for the next one. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, all of those things have pro and cons, right? I mean, if you concentrate on the four of you being on stage, it's a little more punk rock. It's feels like that.
And we like punk rock.
Yeah, I figure. And if you go a little bit more into maybe bringing another musician with you on stage, it could expand it. But I also see what Etienne is saying. I think you should always keep the character of the band, no matter if it's 4, 5, or 18 people on stage. I have, and here we can close the circle. I have heard that the production of the record was a little difficult. Somewhere it says that only in the last 2 weeks or so the record basically took shape. Was it because I don't want to say inner struggles. There are always struggles when four people are working on a thing together. But is it more like the content, or like, okay, I'm not happy with this part, or is it more like, okay, how do we bring this part to life? Is it more of a creation?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I don't know. It was complicated to finish some of the songs because we weren't very happy with some of the parts that were more complicated to bring to life. Or for instance, I changed a lot of my lines on the third song of the album.
This Composite Shell.
Yeah, it's not my favorite song. I have to be honest about that.
And now Etienne says it's my favorite.
No, but it was, for me, for instance, it was very, very difficult because I wasn't really happy with the results of the demos, and I tried to bring it to its maximum potential when I recorded. I'm happy with it now, but I still think I could have done things a bit differently. As far as the guitar is involved, I mean, I like the structure of the song. I think it works very well, but I'm not really happy with my parts. I think I could have done better, but yeah.
Yeah, the songs were ready when we started to record them, but we also had a lot of space to add things, other instruments or other guitar lines, or sometimes to change something in our and when we were composing the album, a lot of times the recipe was, okay, less notes, put less notes, and like that we arrived in studio with kind of a lot of space, and we had some many possibilities to do it. First, with the work on the guitar, and in some parts we knew that we wanted other instrument, and sometimes to have place when you don't put too much, you have place for other things, for ideas. And it was also like that with the vocals, because Dave, when he entered the studio, wasn't ready with all the vocals, and he built it during the studio, and he did a lot of lines, a lot of tries, until he was happy with it. So that was comfortable to work like that, by the way. It was comfortable to work like that, to let us some space to do things.
Yeah, but I can imagine, at the same time, it's also difficult because you have that space. Okay, what do we do with it?
Yeah.
Do we leave it open? Do we leave it empty? Do we fill it? Yeah, and there are so many possibilities, right? I can see that. So there is one last thing that I want to ask, and that is the community effect. I just looked at the 4 bands that you two have dropped, all Swiss bands. On the new record, you have Kevin from Coil Guns, and you had I think you had a split with Coil Guns a few years ago, right? How much do you see Abraham as part of that Swiss scene? How important is that scene to you?
It's a difficult one. I mean,
we don't like most bastards anyway.
No, I was going to say the exact opposite. I mean, it's complicated to see them as a scene, because we're it is a scene, obviously, but most of them are friends anyway, so we pretty much know most of them. I'm going to say, I'm not exactly sure, but we've toured with a lot of bands, shared the stage with them. Sometimes we hang out with each other. We support each other. I think it's very nice, and I don't know if it's a tight-knit community or anything, but I think it's very nice to be part of that scene.
Yeah, and I guess some bands, we know them since many years, and sometimes we just met some new bands, and it's also the power of music. It's also cool to do that, to meet some people, and when you meet good people, so okay, let's try to stay in contact or to do things together or not, and it's also like that when you are going on tour, you meet some people again, and there is a lot of band in Switzerland, by the way.
There are
some
lots of good bands,
old ones or new ones, and it's also always cool to discover that.
And also very, very different from each other. I mean, for example, let's take a band like Some of Our. Very different from what you are doing. Or also Rockal itself, right? Very different from what you're doing. Yeah. Are those bands, projects, then also a kind of inspiration for you guys? Not musically, but like, okay, maybe musically, but also in the sense of, okay, they did this, now we have to try something. You know, they did this great record, we have to come up with something even better. Is there a little bit like that?
Yeah, but not in a competitive way, I think. But more like it's like pushing each other towards making something that's great. I think it's like that's how I see it, anyways. I don't know.
Completely.
And we're always very proud to see that our friends did great records. We're almost always amazed that their records sound great. They have great ideas, and it's very inspiring to see that. Okay, well, I think it's a way of pushing us.
No, totally. And maybe we are just older. When we were 20 years old, there were more competition, because when you are young, you're a bit sometimes more dumb.
You want to outperform the others,
and now, I mean, it's just a pleasure to make some music and to try to perform it on stage and to share it with people. So let's enjoy.
I guess that's also, you know, one of the reasons, right, for bands like Abraham. You know, we're not just making music, but we share it with people. We go on stage. We all know that, you know, performing on stage is different from performing in a studio, right? So I can see that appeal, definitely. And there are a lot of Swiss bands who have that appeal on record and on stage. That's definitely something to be very proud of. Gentlemen, first of all, thanks for all the insight into the new record. But as usual, nobody leaves our little Veil of Sound interview without having to go through the infamous and unnerving quickfire round at the end. You will always get two alternatives, and you then have to choose. Something like, okay, which AC/DC version do you like more? The one with Bon Scott or the one with Brian Johnson? Or
this is one for you.
I will not ask that. That's like it must be Bon Scott. Come on. I know that Back in Black is the most successful album, but it must be Bon Scott. But you know what I mean. So let's start off with some of your friends. Which Coil Guns record do you like more? Watchers or Odd Love?
I think I'm going to say Odd Love.
Yeah, I give a chance on Odd Love. Yep.
Totally. That is a really good record. Might have been the best post-hardcore record last year. Definitely.
Yeah, I was really blown away by this record. I was really blown away by this record. I think it's so diverse. It's fantastic.
And they also try something totally different. They bring something different, new.
Yeah. And Louis sounds so much like at the drive-in on the record. It's nearly frightening. You know, it's great. Another Swiss band, totally different thing. One of my favorite Swiss bands because, you know, they're just doing crazy stuff. Some of Our.
Okay.
I hope you know both records, Orga and Lebris. Lebris is the last one with a red cover.
I'm not really familiar with their work, I have to say. That's I'm a bit ashamed, but
that's the same for me.
For everybody out there, I understand that because some of ours definitely want to be stranger Swiss bands. Also because, you know, 3 guys, one doing sampling, one playing bass, one playing drums, that's it. And the music is something somewhere between horror scores and post-metal.
I can understand. You can check them out.
Yeah, totally.
And I will use this horror score analogy to come back to Le Baron Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Which Dracula actor do you like more as Dracula? And I'll give you 2 of the classics. Bela Lugosi versus Christopher Lee.
I think I'm going to go with Bela Lugosi. I don't know why, but it's the one that comes to mind. I think I'm going to go with Bela Lugosi. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay.
I would choose Christopher Lee just because of his biography. I mean, like, the guy was a spy.
Yeah.
The guy is a master at sword fighting. He taught the Lord of the Rings instructors how to fight with a sword.
That's true.
He was friends with Ian Fleming. I mean, like, that biography is... When I first saw that on the web, I was like, yeah, of course. And then I did some research, and I was like...
Yeah, I mean, it's completely crazy, I think.
Yeah. And all of that in one lifetime. Let's go to the German side of post-metal.
Okay.
I'll give you my friends in Cranial. I hope you know them. I'll give you 2 records. Alternate Endings versus Dark Ends, Bright Towers. I see blank faces.
Yeah, exactly. I feel ashamed.
Totally. What's the name of the band?
Cranial.
Cranial.
Probably, I would say, one of the 5 best post-metal. One of the 5 best post-metal bands from Germany. Okay, you will know the spelling Cranial.
Okay.
You will know the next ones, I'm very, very sure. The Ocean.
Okay.
I'll give you the 2 P records. Pelagial versus Precambrian.
Oh, Precambrian.
That is the only right answer in that question. Was that also the first The Ocean record that you heard?
It was the first The Ocean record that I think that's one of my favorites records. Precambrian, well, I think it's a really great record. I mean, the first one, how was it called? I don't remember it.
Before that, there is Fog Diver, and there are a few EPs, and there is Axion, Fluxion, and I forgot one.
Yeah.
Aeolian, something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But Precambrian, I listened a lot to this record while I was doing, I don't know, I can't remember that. I was doing the cover for the first Le Baron Vampire record, and I was really into this album, Precambrian, and it was really, good times.
Still one of my favorite bands, and still the band that I saw second most. But, you know, the other band is disbanded, so they have chances of becoming first. And one of your tour partners, Cult of Luna.
Yeah.
I'll give you Beyond versus Somewhere Along My Way.
Somewhere Along
My Way, yeah.
Would it have been more difficult if I had given you Mariner? Because that's, to me, like, maybe their second best.
I really, really dig Mariner. I think it's fantastic. I've listened to it so many times. I don't even remember. I think I know this album inside and out.
Yeah, but I guess I prefer Eternal Kingdom Mariner. And of course, the Beyond, it's how I discovered this band.
Me too.
So,
like most of us, right?
When you hear that for the first time, it's a bit, but I don't regret my answer.
No. I mean, like, it's again one of those bands which basically does not have a bad record, right?
Yeah.
And even the live recordings, I'm not a huge fan of live records, but even the live recordings are amazing.
Yeah.
So, there's nothing that you can do wrong. You can do nothing wrong with Cult of Luna, and you can also, for everybody out there, you can do nothing wrong with the new Abraham record. Out in a few days on Pelagic Records. I'll try it again. Idsungwüssä.
Great.
Great.
Yeah. Take your time. It's a really, really cool record. And now you two gentlemen have the chance for final last words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, super bands. Go to see concert and be curious.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jacques, you want to add something?
I like the be curious part. Yeah, it's super important. I don't know. I like to go see new bands live as much as I can. I think it's fantastic always to do that, and I hope people still do that.
Yeah. So everybody should also go and watch Abraham on tour in a few weeks. So
yeah, that would
gentlemen,
be nice.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the ride on tour, and thanks for the record.
Thanks for having us.
Bye bye.